A woman who killed her neighbor by shooting through a door now wants to sue the victim's family. Susan Lorincz sent a handwritten letter to the judge. She's claiming that she is being badmouthed by the family of A.J. Owens. Lorincz was found guilty of manslaughter. She was sentenced to 25 years. She now wants to sue for slander, libel, and defamation of character. We want to bring in our dear friend Susan Constantine. She is a trial consultant. She's also a human behavior investigator. Always great to have you, Susan. Thank you for being here. It's a fascinating story and one that a lot of people have had a renewed interest in lately because there is now a docuseries out about it called The Perfect Neighbor, which describes with body camera exactly what happened in the weeks leading up to this. But I want to talk first about this letter that Susan Lorincz wrote. And if you watch the docuseries, you saw her write a little short note while she was in a holding area being interviewed that she wrote to the family. This one is much longer than that one.
Yeah. Yes. So what I did is I took her letter, which I think is really important because I'm looking at the language, how she's thinking cognitively, like how when she's putting that pen to the paper and what words she's writing, and what are the selection of the words and how she's actually framing it. So I took her letter and I ran it through 3 different reports because I want to understand her personality. I want to understand the sentiment that she was actually feeling. And the one thing that was really interesting about it is that what she was saying was primarily true. Again, she was saying it from her perspective, so it was only one-sided. The other thing is what was more alarming to me is Decipher. I ran a program through Decipher. And this is a program that I use when I'm analyzing those of persons of dangerous intent. Are they going to carry out a threat? Are they a type of person that could harm somebody? Are they a terrorist? Are they a shooter? So I ran it all through, and I want to tell you what, it was astounding because the percentile of where she was based on her language, which was very militant, very angry, a lot of really harsh words as when you're talking about causing harm to another person or what was being harmed to her. She was selecting those words from her own subconscious mind. She ranked so high that she was going to carry out a violent act. So this is what's really important because I've analyzed Luigi Mangione and all of the Brian Kohbergers and all of those, and it gives you a profile and it's scientific. It's not subjective. It's scientific analysis, and she was going to carry it out. So here's a person that had a really hard time regulating her emotion. Her cognitive ability was down, her emotionality was high, so she had very low frustration tolerance, and it wasn't only about a time, it was like a ticking time bomb.
Well, you watched the docuseries, so you saw all of her actions leading up to this event. What were your thoughts in watching it and then comparing it to what she was saying on paper?
Well, she plays really well a victim, so I first listened to her tone, and when a police officer would show up, a lot of times she didn't want to come outside, so she wanted to have control being in her safe environment. But when she did come out, she was always victimized, and it was always one-sided. Here's these kids are doing this, but her tonality shifted. So then all of a sudden it became from very soft and weakened, that I'm being attacked, right, to all of a sudden aggressive and hard and harsh. So you could see the personality and through her tone and our sharpness of her tone. So how she's presenting herself, which we call impression management. She's trying to impress that police officer that she's the victim, that these are bad kids, and this has been an ongoing issue. Yes, it has, but it's how she's perceiving it. And that's where we get into her personality, the sentiment analysis, and literally she's just a mean Mrs. Kravitz that lived next door.
Yeah, it was fascinating to watch, and I think for all of us who follow the case so closely because it happened right in our own backyard, your insight is always invaluable. Susan, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning.